I'm Bill with TANDEMKROSS, making good guns great. Before I get started, let me ask you to please like and share this video on whatever social media platform you found it on. Follow us if you're not following us already on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Parler, and MeWe. And if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe and notification buttons so that whenever we upload a new video, you'll be the first to know. Moving on, the Ruger PC Carbine debuted in early 2019 to much fanfare. It comes in a variety of models that make it a viable choice for the range, for competitions, and for home defense, and if the online chatter about it is anything to go by, it is likely doing extremely well for Ruger. So how did they pull it off? Today, we're going to take a little look at the history of the Ruger PC Carbine and pistol caliber carbines in general. To start, we have to go back a few hundred years. The word carbine actually comes from the French carabine, which referred to a mounted musketeer. Over time, the word evolved, first to refer specifically to the musket those mounted musketeers used, and eventually to be used the way it is today. Generally, it just means a rifle with a fairly short barrel. And pistol caliber carbines, like the Ruger PC Carbine, use ammunition more commonly associated with handguns and can often take handgun magazines too. The first firearms that were arguably pistol caliber carbines were early Winchester models like the 1866 and 1873, the so-called gun that won the West. Now, I say arguably partly because the ammunition they used was actually designed for rifles first and became popular for handguns later, and partly because people still argue the semantics of what a carbine actually is all the time and whether the term pistol caliber carbine is redundant. But either way, the idea was that you could use the same caliber in your pistols as in your carbines, which is the same idea behind pistol caliber carbines today, so I think the Winchester models fit the bill. As the 20th century got underway, firearms that more closely resembled modern PCCs began to appear. For example, the Spanish Destroyer carbine and the British Delisle Commando used detachable box magazines. These firearms were bolt action though. The American M1, however, was semi-automatic like most modern PCCs, but all three of these used different mags and shot different ammo, so we're not at the sharing ammo and mags point yet. Several early 20th century German weapons also closely resembled modern PCCs. The MP-18 submachine gun, for example, was a short-barreled rifle that was often chambered for a round we all know and love, 9x19 Parabellum. So you can see how this is all coming together, but it would take until the latter part of the 20th century for pistol caliber carbines to really catch on with civilians. It wasn't until more police forces began adopting 9mm as their handgun round of choice that the general public latched on to 9mm as well and would start wanting 9mm carbines. Which is where Ruger comes in. Ruger had done pistol caliber carbines before, like the Model 44 way back in 1961, and they were not the first to produce a 9mm PCC. They were one of the most popular and successful though. Eventually, they had to go through some growing pains first in the form of the PC Carbine's direct predecessor, the Ruger Police Carbine. The Police Carbine unfortunately turned out to not quite be what the police were looking for in the late 90s and early 2000s when it came out. The Police Carbine was only compatible with magazines for the Ruger P85 pistol, which itself hadn't really penetrated the police market that well. It was also pretty heavy, and thus not all that suited to field use. But most importantly, police forces in general were moving towards AR platforms for their rifles, so it was just kind of bad timing on Ruger's part. And the civilian market didn't really pick up the slack because there were more affordable options around the same time, like the Kel-Tec Sub 2000, the Hi-Point 995 and its variants, and especially the Marlin Camp Carbine, which had a version chambered in .45 that could use 1911 mags that was already popular by the time the Police Carbine debuted. So Ruger took some time to work on themselves, and about a decade after the Police Carbine was discontinued, they returned with the PC Carbine. The big difference with the PC Carbine is that it can share not just ammunition, but magazines with a pretty wide variety of other firearms. Ruger offers magwell adapters that allow you to use Glock magazines as well as mags from a handful of Ruger pistols. The PC Carbine is also competitively priced and affordable for the civilian market. But probably the biggest part of what has made the PC Carbine a success is its easy takedown construction. Ruger applied the design perfected by their always popular 1022 to the PC Carbine, making it easy to clean and modify for people without special tools or training. Not only is this appealing to users, but it's appealing to manufacturers too, and a sizable market for replacement parts and mods sprang up around it. Companies make aftermarket upgrades like triggers, magazine releases, bolt locks, charging handles, optic mounts, compensators, sights, grips, chassis, stock adapters, internals, and the like that let users customize their PC Carbine to look, feel, and shoot exactly the way they need it to. A healthy aftermarket is often key to a firearm's popularity and longevity, and I think that was what made the Ruger PC Carbine into one of the most recognized pistol caliber carbines available today. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or suggestions about this video, be sure to let me know in the comment section, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video, you'll find out right away. You can also find us elsewhere on the internet like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Parler, and MeWe. And of course, you can find all of our products at www.tandemkross.com.